guys, welcome to today's videos. These are the materials we'll be needing, and without further ado, let's get straight into it. So the first thing that you want to do is to mark your starting line, which is usually a line I mark at the top of my paper. So since this is a skirt, this will serve as my waistline, and I'm going to take all my measurements from there downwards. So I'm just going to go ahead and label that waistline. So after that, the next thing that I want to do is to place my waist to hip measurement. So for this skirt, there's no waistband, so I'm just taking from my waist to my hip, which is 10 inches. Please measure your own hip so that you would have an accurate measurement, because this measurement differs and it is not constant. Then I'm also going down to mark the length of the skirt, which is 22 inches. So from my waist to my hip is 10 inches, and from my waist to the length of the skirt is 22 inches. And then I'm just going to roll that out with a straight line. So the next thing that I'm going to do now is to place all my measurements. But before that, I would like to take in my dart measurements. So I'm going to place my nipple to nipple measurement divided by 2, which is 4 inches. And it's on that point I will take in my dart. So from that point, I would come down by 4 inches. Just come downwards by 4 inches like this, because that is how long I want my front dart to be. And then connect those 2 points with a straight line. Then come out by ½ inch on both sides at the top of the dart, ½ inch on my right and ½ inch on my left. And by the time I connect those down, that would be my front dart. And if I measure what I've taken in here, it is 1 inches together. So after doing that now, I am going to place my horizontal measurement starting from my waist, which is 8.5 inches, and then I'm going to replace that 1 inch that I took earlier, making it 9.5 inches. Take note that this pattern has no allowance, so I'm going to be adding my allowance onto my fabric while cutting. So coming to my hip line, I'm going to place my hip measurement, which is 44 divided by 4, that is 11 inches. And then for the hemline, whatever you have on your hip line, I usually take 2 inches out and place that on the hemline. So I have 11 inches on my hip. Going to my hemline, I'm going to reduce 2 inches, so that would have 9 inches. And then I'm simply just going to connect these 3 points together. Like, it is as simple as the name sounds, a basic skirt block. And that is it. Like, we are literally done with the front pattern. So I'm just quickly going to cut this out, and then we'll proceed to move to the back pattern. Now for the back, the first thing you would want to do is to come in by 1.5 inches from the starting line, or from the edge of your paper. That is going to be your zip allowance. So whatever measurements that you are taking, whatever horizontal measurement you are taking, is starting after that line. And then also I'm going to rule my waistline, or my starting line, at the top of my paper. After that, you pretty much repeat the same thing. You place your vertical measurement, which is your waist to your hip, 10 inches, and then the length of the skirt, which is 22 inches. So you just do that and repeat on the other side, so that I could have straight lines across. Next thing is to place our dart as well. We are coming in by the same 4 inches, but for the back we are going to come down by 5 inches. So whatever you have for your front dart, do well to add 1 inch to it for the dart at the back. And take note that all our measurements are starting on the zip allowance line, not before it. So on this dart line, I'm just going to take the same 1/2 inch on both sides that I took in front, totaling 1 inch for the back. And that is it for the dart. We're just going to go ahead and impute all our horizontal measurements again. 9.5 inches for my waistline, including the darts. So I'm just going to place that on my waist. Coming to my hip, I'm placing 11 inches. Coming to the hemline, I'm placing 9 inches. I already explained why it is 9 inches there. So yeah, that's as simple as it is. From this pattern now, you can make, different kind of skirts. You can alter it to have different designs. This is just the basic that you need if you want to learn, how to sew a skirt. This is your starting point, I guess. So yes. Now we're just going to label our zip allowance. And we're pretty much done with the whole pattern drafting for the skirt. So we're just going to cut that out and see what we have. So I'm just going to label it. This is my front pattern. This is my front pattern and this is my back pattern, guys. It was so easy to make. Thank you so much for watching my video. If this was helpful, please do well to like, share, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.